The Warclaw, the newest and 7th addition to Guild Wars 2's roster of mounts, comes in the form of a battle-hardened feline creature. But unlike all previous mounts, this particular mount is exclusively obtained through the World vs. World game mode. To acquire your very own Warclaw mount, the very first thing you need to do is to simply spend a single World vs. World rank point in the new World vs. World Warclaw Mastery line. These rank points are earned through ranking up in the game mode. This first point will unlock the Warclaw Companion Collection achievement, which will track your progress on the way to acquiring the mount. This achievement will inform you that you have to find 8 different armor pieces for the Warclaw in order to assemble the entire set and manifest the Warclaw from the mists. The first piece, the Warclaw emblem, is instantly earned as you unlock the achievement. The second armor piece, the Gorget, is acquired through the capture of any keep in World vs. World. The third armor piece, the Horn Spikes, is acquired through the capture of a camp. The fourth armor piece, the Saddle, is acquired through the capture of a tower. The fifth armor piece, the Helmet, is acquired through the completion of the new, non-repeatable World vs. World Warclaw reward track. The sixth armor piece, the Body Armor, can be simply bought from the new vendor named Elvie the Warclaw Tender. She's located near all other World vs. World merchants at your server's starting waypoint. The price is 50 skirmish tickets. However, every armor piece can be consumed for 5 skirmish tickets, which means that once you've completed the Warclaw achievement, you will effectively only have spent 10 skirmish tickets. The 7th armor piece, the Leg Armor, can also be bought from Elvie the Warclaw Tender. The price is 200 badges of honor. The 8th and last piece of armor, the Tail Armor, will drop from any enemy guard as you slay them. Once you've acquired all 8 armor pieces, you will be granted the Warclaw Certificate of Ownership, which will allow you to buy the Warclaw mount from Elvie. The second World vs. World Mastery rank for the Warclaw allows us to move faster on the Warclaw while in territories that we own. The Warclaw's movement is quite a point of contention for a lot of players because it has to be balanced around the player versus player aspect of World vs. World. Thus, the baseline speed of the mount is approximately 450 units per second, while the upgraded version puts the speed at approximately 550 units per second. This is also the same speed as the Warclaw will be moving at in PvE areas of the game. Compared to all other mounts, as well as the player character speed with swiftness, the Warclaw speed places itself right between the land speed for the Griffin and the Skimmer. However, arguably, the top speed for the Warclaw is higher than the Skimmer due to its special movement skill on evades. Which leads us to the third World Rank Mastery, which gives your Warclaw an extra stamina bar. This allows the Warclaw to use its evade functionality 3 times in a row compared to the standard 2. Note that this does not transfer over to PvE. In PvE zones, the mount retains its standard dual stamina bar. This evade skill is pretty powerful from a World vs. World perspective, as this allows you to move at great distances while evading incoming attacks, thus allowing players to easily and pretty quickly jump right into the middle of an enemy cirque or all the way through the entirety of the corridor in the Stone Mist Castle while dodging enemy attacks. Note that even though this evade skill visually resembles the one of the Jackal mount, this skill cannot be used while in midair. For players who are used to the Jackal, the Warclaw's evade skill might feel slightly counterintuitive, but I assume this is lacking functionality so that players can't easily jump off of great distances to break into structures or save their lives. On that note, fun fact, the falling damage that you take while on the mount goes directly to the player character to prevent you from cheesing your way into structures by sacrificing the mount. So if your mount dies from the height, you die from the height. The fourth World vs. World Mastery ability changes the Warclaw's engage skill called Battle Maul into the Superior Battle Maul, which allows you to finish players who are in the down state. The Pounce of the Battle Maul is quite short-ranged, especially compared to other mounts, and deals a whole lot less damage than other mounts as well. However, this skill also applies 4 bleed stacks if it hits an enemy, which, admittedly, in my opinion, probably shouldn't be the case, as bleeding is already quite a powerful condition. Couple that with the fact that the engage skill has a 10 target cap, and you might actually be able to make some real dents in a Zerg single-handedly. In a fringe case scenario, we might even see 5+ players getting finished simultaneously by a single player on a mount that lands within radius of them all. Note that the baseline 2200 damage is untouched by the upgrade from this mastery ability. Also, note that however low the damage is in World vs. World, in PvE, the Warclaw has the absolute highest damage on engage compared to all other mounts. The next World vs. World rank mastery unlocks a sniff skill, which allows you to detect nearby enemies and temporarily mark their location on the map. This is indicated by an expanding radar-like circle on your minimap, which will mark an enemy player's location shortly if it passes over them. This can be pretty effective, but do be cautious since the cooldown of the skill is slightly high at 60 seconds. The last World vs. World rank mastery in the Warclaw line unlocks a third skill for the Warclaw, which allows you to pull on gates to damage them. The chain pull skill is a flip over skill, which when used on a gate within a 450 unit range will tether and lock you on your mount to the gate, making you unable to move while tethered. Once tethered, you gain access to the actual chain pull skill, which deal damage. Using the chain pull skill costs you 1 supply per pull to use, and each pull deals exactly 2000 damage to the gate, which each gate has a maximum capacity of 3 chains being tethered to it at any given time. So, if you want to get the gate down fast, you likely will have to take turns with your Zerg to pull on the gate with your Warclaws. Using the second flip over skill to release the chain will allow you to freely move again. All in all, the Warclaw Mastery track costs a total of 125 World vs. World rank points to fully upgrade. Note that none of these upgrades transfer over to PvE, but are exclusive for the World vs. World game mode. From my perspective, the Warclaw is a tricky beast to have in a competitive player versus player environment, but I do feel that overall it is rather well balanced on release despite some of the obvious outlier factors. But I suspect many of the initial issues might rather speedily get resolved by the developers given that this is a competitive environment. Design-wise, the mount is rather slow, and that's a good thing for World vs. World. The speed fits very well into the movement around the World vs. World borders without becoming too much of a crutch. If anything, it just evens out the playing field for some professions that would rather take offensive utility skills in favor of movement skills. In comparison to players running on foot, the Warclaw will more or less just act as a steady, non-skill focused speed increase, easily surpassed by profession with access to mass teleports and leaps. Escaping on your Warclaw is not going to be as easy as you might think, given the fact that the mount is really rather slow in enemy territories. Thus, you will have to be much more aware of which territories you enter and whether it's worth it or not. Personally, I very much welcome the Warclaw into World vs. World, and I believe it will only change my experience of the game mode for the better, even if it is just a slight stir. However, in PvE, the mount is practically worthless beyond its unique visual aesthetics, as it ranks so low on the speed scale compared to other mounts and their unique conditional movement features, and also due to the fact that in PvE, the Warclaw retains its double evade functionality instead of the triple. And even though the Warclaw's evade skills visually resemble the Jackal's teleport skill since the evade skill does not function in the air like the Jackal's skill does, overall I have to say that the Warclaw feels more like a wingless griffin with the same forward leap functionality as the Raptor, only shorter. The only real unique gameplay feature to the Warclaw in PvE is its very powerful engage skill, which sets it far above the rest of the mounts. Though, it has to be said that the Battle Maul only has damage. Overall, the Warclaw mechanically doesn't feel like a unique addition to the roster of other mounts, but that said, it's a good thing that the Warclaw doesn't really have to be compared to other mounts, since it is the only mount which is usable in World vs. World, effectively making it unique in another sense. So conclusively, all I have to say is good luck assembling your own Warclaw. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the battlefield.